So I'm here at Overtake HQ and I've been given early access to the brand new version of Rennsport. Let's get into it. So getting straight out on track then with the beautiful Mercedes replica F1 wheel, by the way, absolutely stunning. Rennsport has passed me by a little bit. I'm far from an expert on it before this week, but I did try the public build at home before I came here. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, wasn't a huge fan of it. Just didn't feel quite right. I honestly couldn't even really tell you what was wrong. The handling just felt a little bit off. Not quite right. But this new version, which they're releasing alongside an announcement that they are coming to consoles at some point this year, which would be absolutely mega, along with as well, by the way, before you naysayers go down to the comments, alongside some monetization updates. Now, I have spoken to the lead developer on the game. We'll get into the interview on that in just a little while. But first impressions, honestly, of this handling model, I've played it today quite a bit today. I've probably done 40 laps or so. Big step up, honestly. Big step up. I think it's a lot better than the current public version as I make this video. It now feels natural. It feels right. Now, I don't normally drive much GT cars, but I'm directly comparing it to what I felt at home. And bearing in mind, at home is my home rig. I'm now in a strange rig with a strange surrounding, whatever else. And it feels better, a lot better. They said they were worried that the changes might not be noticeable, but I think that's because they're too close to the game. Because to me, I'm not going to say it's night and day. That would be too strong. But the fact of me considering saying that probably tells you everything you need to know. So, for example, previously, I felt like there was a bit of phantom sliding going on at times. It just slid a little bit too much. Now it doesn't do that. Now it's rock solid, but it's also fun to drive. It's relatively forgiving. There's no, it's not just impossibly hard to drive. And it just feels right, which is all you can really ask for. There is a few still lingering issues with how it feels, like you can take sausage curbs way too easy, as I just did. Also, the gravel I'll show you, doesn't really do anything. The gravel is like, I think the gravel is basically grass at the moment. Look, on gravel, and you can just accelerate. Look, like, that's not gravel. That is not gravel. It basically is grass, but the grass feels right. So look, it's not perfect. It's got a lot of negative press. Honestly, with how this feels, just talking about how it feels on track, I think this feels fantastic. I think it feels really good. It's forgiving in places. It just feels right. It's good. It's good. How about the other stuff then? Well, they've told us quite a lot today. Nothing massive that we're not able to tell you especially. As I said, they have got some upcoming monetization changes, which they're being very coy about. They're not willing to say too much, but that is going to change. I think I can probably safely say that they've realized that their current monetization system, where basically it's free to play, but then everything inside it is DLC almost, every car is DLC almost. I think they've been quite honest that just didn't really work. I mean, if you look at the Steam reviews right now, it says mostly negative for both the recent and the long term. It's not good. This game has not gone down well, but this now feels good to me. If they change the monetization, it's coming to console. If they keep, I think, this sort of esports focus, Forza Horizon, this is not, obviously. If they keep the esports focus, and I don't mean only esports, only the absolute top level, competition focus, I guess, is what I mean. I think, honestly, this game has got big potential. As I said, I hadn't tried it before this week, so maybe some of you watching have, then you go, oh, I don't care what you say then because I only want to watch hardcore fans. I get that, I do, but look, it's just another person's thoughts. If you haven't played it before, though, I think especially while it's free to play, it's worth a go, honestly. It's worth a go. With this update, it's worth a go. Previously, genuinely, I wouldn't have recommended it. I'd have just said, well, I wouldn't have said anything. But if you asked me, I'd have said, yeah, like, not a big fan. It's all right, but like, just doesn't feel quite right. Whereas this does. This does. It's fun. Right now, it's free. It probably won't be free full time as they're doing some monetization changes. Surely, the only thing they can change is charging for the game in the first place, especially on console. I mean, surely, I guess other games are free to play. Anyway, I don't know. I've got no idea what they're going to do, but they are going to change something for sure. They also got a lot of stick for like NFT style stuff, which, again, look, I've spoken directly to developers. I'm here at one of their HQs, kind of, at Overtake. It's not really their HQ, whatever. And basically, they've said that was all essentially a misunderstanding. They've said that, look, we haven't really got NFTs. Yes, there's some ownership stuff in the game, but it's not like NFT level of like ownership stuff. It's also not really, it doesn't seem to be monetized. I'm a bit confused what all the drama was about. I feel like that was one of those things that, you know, everyone hates on NFTs and stuff, and I think they got lumped in with that a little bit. From what I can gather from the game, having played it at home and now played it here, this isn't really an NFT style game. Yes, you may be able to do stuff like that in the future, possibly, but I think that's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. Could be wrong on that, but as far as I can gather, the NFT stuff is a complete non-issue. But to me, honestly, I think this can start to, I was going to say replace iRacing. That would be weird. But with scheduled races, a center on competition, available on console, big scalp on iRacing. As long as it's monetized appropriately and doesn't just annoy people, and let's face it, iRacing isn't exactly cheap, I think people could have great fun on this. You know, we'll see how it develops. We have spoken directly to the, in fact, let's get the interview up right now. I spoke to the Marco, one of the co-founder. That's the word I was looking for. He's the co-founder of this game, and he basically sounds like he's come from a sort of racing background. So, you know, I've asked him a couple of difficult questions. Let's see what he's got to say.
So obviously, going to console, you face a hardware which is not the most performance hardware out there, and we had to adapt a lot of our models to that. But also a big challenge was making the proper physics simulation running. Connecting to our backend, to our platform, was the third one. And this is basically what was the biggest challenge there. Yes, they will also see an uplift there, but we are working constantly on this, so that normal optimization process, but they will benefit from this as well, yes. I guess we kicked Rennsport off pretty ambitious, and at a certain point in 24, we realized to make it sustainable for the future, we need to catch up a bit in the back end and to sort out some technical challenges there. Therefore, big sorry that we weren't able to serve you guys better out there. For 25, I feel pretty comfortable that we can change that. Give it a try. I guess you guys tried here. Some improvements already. So going on console is making us pushing even harder, and the PC side is benefiting from this as well. So give us a chance and try it out again. I cannot go too much into the details, but I guess we will follow an expected path, which is kind of an industry standard for what we are doing and in which genre we are in. We tried out the free-to-play model. We heard your comments, and we will react on that. In 10 years' time, you will heavily think if you go on a real-world ride or on a VR ride on a cool location wherever in the world. So this is a bit what we are envisioning, delivering a fantastic experience around cars. And step by step, we want to develop in that from where we are, from where we started with very heavy sporting focus, but the overall experience around cars and transporting the car culture into the virtual world. This is what we are working for, and hopefully in 10 years, we made a very good step forward to that. My kids are also able to drive real-world cars there, and I will ask them heavily what they prefer, the virtual version or the real-world version.
Okay, I'm sticking with a track that I know. We have changed to Hockenheim, but it's another track that I know. And I've done a few laps on this today, so hopefully I can be all right at least and not completely terrible. But yeah, so honestly, I felt like his answers, yeah, okay, they're a bit PR-y, let's be honest. That, you know, you can never get a really juicy answer out of these guys, unfortunately, certainly not on the record. But I think, honestly, his answers were largely fair. You know, we had some particularly spiky questions there, I'd say, around, you know, negativity and monetization and stuff. And, you know, he's not able to say too much, but I really like Marco. He spoke much more candidly to us off record today and has been quite open and honest. He didn't tell us much more that we can't say. There's a few little bits there that maybe he shouldn't have said and got a few eyebrows raised in the room, which I won't talk about now. But I really liked... Look, I was won over, I'll be honest. I was won over by Marco, rightly or wrongly. I think he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He sounds like he's passionate. It sounds like he's going in the right direction. Yes, have Rennsport made mistakes? Yes. But it basically sounds like where they went wrong was starting with esports, which is an unusual place to start, right? don't start with a massive esports competition with a game that seemingly was a bit rushed and maybe not entirely ready. And then, because then afterwards everyone's going to go, well, what next? Because then the only thing next is an even bigger esports competition, right? Unless you've got a massive build of the game ready that's, you know, got some really corny features or whatever. So it's been a difficult period since then. And I think they're very honest and open about that. And I think they've realised we need to change things up. And it sounds like, to me, and it's not just to me, most other people in this room as well, have agreed with that. They think all their ideas seem sensible. And do you know what? I know it seems from the outside like they haven't listened too much to community in the past, but it sounds like they used most of 2024 to basically get to the point where it was compatible on console. Obviously, we heard as well in the interview that we are going to see some FPS improvements as well because they've made it compatible on console, so that's not a bad thing. And I think it sounds like it's going in the right direction. I've been won over. Is Rennsport going to become my main game now? No. Will Rennsport ever be my main game? For me, probably not, because I'm an F1 guy, I'm a Formula guy, right? Maybe they'll introduce Formula cars in the future and it'll be amazing. You know, who knows? I'm not a GT car guy, but if they had a cool tournament, I'm keen. Sign me up. Because I think this is good fun, and I really like the fact that it's esports centric, which is really what I mean by that is competition centric. I think means it's in a relatively unique place. I mean, iRacing, okay, it's, you know, it's not a million miles off that because it's online competition centric. I get that, but I think, oh god, that failed. I failed. I think, yeah, they like even the penalty stuff. The penalty system seems pretty decent. The way that it's got a spectate mode already built in, the way that the lobby system works, you know, unlike in F1 where if half the field ready's up, you just go. It hasn't got that. You have to have the host to press go. That makes sense. A lot of little things like that I think makes it a very promising esports platform. I don't know beyond that how it works, whether you can have a race director that can throw a full course caution, all these kind of things. You would expect it's got that kind of thing. I've just made that up on the spot, so I've got no idea if it has or not. I think Rennsport is a worthwhile title. Let's be honest, racing games are popping up left, right, centre. They're a bit dime a dozen at the moment, especially GT3 ones. I don't think Rennsport will ever be the racing game. It may be the esports game, but I like it. And I think that's enough waffle. Don't you guys? But as I said, right now, with this build, when this video goes out, is going to be free and available on PC. So if you've got a PC, give it a go. Yes, okay, you won't have access to too many cars, but they do have a car rotation system. They do 3 different cars every week, I think it is. And then plus you get a B&O for free when you sign up as well. Also, by the way, I haven't even mentioned, they've got a really cool app. Not got as many features as I'd like to see yet, but their app sounds like it's fairly cool. Like, it's obviously syncs to all this. You can see all your lap times and you can see you know, your race results. You can sign up to future races. I like all that stuff. I think that's cool. So yeah, give it a go. Let me know what you guys think. And look, if you are, okay, I'll be honest, if you're going to be negative in the comments, you've already done it. You've already left that comment. But if you got this far and you're thinking about being a negative in the comments, or you already have been negative in the comments, my advice to you would be, give it a go first. Because, look, I'm super new to this, so I may well have missed some things that you guys would like to hear, but I'm not the only person covering this today. I'm covering it from my angle. And from what I've felt in the game, it feels nice to drive in this build. What I've heard from the developers sounds very positive. Should you bet your life on this becoming the next greatest racing game? No, of course you shouldn't. But honestly, it's got a lot of hate. And right now in this build of the game, with what they've told me today as well, I don't think it deserves any hate. But we'll see. We'll see how it evolves. Like I said, do give it a go yourself while it's free. It sounds like with the monetization changes, it probably won't be free forever. So I think it's worth a go. And yeah, we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little bit of Rennsport gameplay. I've been enjoying branching out into other racing games as well. Thank you once again to Rennsport as well for inviting me along and allowing me, guys, to give you some early access, or allow me to have some early access to show you guys on launch day of this. And we'll be keeping an eye on Rennsport from here, and I'm excited to see where they go. Anyway, guys, catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.